Good evening. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight.
You made it this time.
Nearly daily source for news and politics. Let me introduce our boomer, Mr. Rex.
Good evening.
And so, Millennial.
With a nearly daily uninterrupted whatever.
Yeah, I know. 10 seconds. Right.
And I am RisenLadyHeathen, a female millennial. They both eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm learning. We provide you with the facts and each of our three perspectives from our literal round table. Let's
See, now it's
dig
my
right
turn.
into our headlines.
See, now it's my turn to say I agree. I don't, because it's not so much eat, sleep, and breathe politics as
Right.
read a bunch of the news and have done for.
And, yeah, for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't need a previously on, or like I could write. That's the point.
Yeah, so we're doom scrollers. That's what it is.
Eh.
Love that
Alright.
phrase.
Tell us about Pakistan faith healer takes the term nail on the head literally?
Oh, my God. So there's a manhunt underway in Pakistan for a faith healer who hammered a nail into a pregnant woman's head. So she arrived at the hospital in terrible pain to have the 2-inch nail pulled out. Turns out the faith healer, she heard about the faith healer from a neighbor. And she's the mother to 3 daughters. Her husband had threatened to leave her if she gave birth to another girl. And
He doesn't
this,
understand that's his fault, not
this
hers.
is
right?
driving the nail into her head was supposed to guarantee a male offspring.
Change pressure, pop it out. It's just blowing into gloves to make them open up.
Yeah, gotta be. Anyway, this is I included this for one reason and one reason only, is when you've got QAnoners killing their wives because something in a wall told them she was a CIA plant and so forth.
Wait.
You begin to
You
wonder.
need to tell this story now. What the fuck happened?
That was all the. There you go.
That's it. A
didn't
QAnoner
miss a
killed his
piece.
wife because somebody in a wall told him that she was a CIA
So
plant.
there was a random person in his wall. And
Or
instead
he
of
thought there
thinking-
was.
Instead of thinking it was weird that there would be somebody in his wall,
He's a
he just was
QAnoner.
into it.
Nothing's weird. Anyway, no, I mean, you get this feeling that the crazies are just taking over America. Well, turns out they're not just in America, right? So it's not just Americans that believe these incredibly stupid things like driving a nail in your head.
No, and you're right, and had sadly the same reaction to kind of both at some
I
level.
know.
Just fuck them. Nope, goddamn, you gotta guard your nuts better.
Hey.
I can't
No,
fully.
they're both so sad in such an awful way. And at the same time, at some point you really have to say, what in heaven's name would possess you to believe any of this nonsense?
Lack of education, lack of knowledge of how the human body actually works, lack of knowledge of the fact that QAnon is
Lack of
crazy.
curiosity. First off, QAnon is religion without the structure.
Right.
Right. If you yanked all the cathedrals out of Catholicism, it'd be exactly this. It's go with your intuition. If it feels right, that's the Lord speaking to you.
Well, and I'd like to know how old
Or
this guy
kid
was,
speaking to you.
because we do know that
Our age.
psychosis and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
hits around
Schizophrenia in
25, yeah.
23. Yeah.
Yeah, you wonder if,
Let's find out.
I'm beginning to wonder if there's something loose in the environment that's killing certain parts of certain people's
Oh,
brains.
I wonder if he's an ivermectin, like bleach up the bumhole kind of fucking person, and
Hadn't
it's
thought about
slowly
that.
killing his
Yeah.
fucking brain cells.
Or apparently not slowly killing.
Well, if he's been doing it long enough.
Yeah.
Because they've been talking about that for, what, at least a fucking year or more now.
So, yeah, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. We must run and tell the king.
This is the new midlife crisis.
Oh, fuck.
45 on that one.
Oh, God.
Wife was 29.
Oh, anyway.
Poor woman.
No, I am so far left, I may have to come up with a new word because I'm not sure the Democrats want my kind of left anymore.
Fair.
But these are the ones who no amount of money. Look, I want to tax the bosses so severely they're back on the horizon where the kids that work for a living can still see them. Right? And that's pretty insane from where we are.
Yeah.
And you still wouldn't be able to fix this, right? This is the kids getting put in
No, we could
ovens
fix
as part
this.
of exorcisms.
We fix this by having a social net that treats mental illness. They knew this guy was mentally ill. He'd had previous encounters, and there was nothing to do with him. So
Well, it's
anyway.
it's a lot of what we were discussing,
He's been
last
determined-
week with
yes.
the, mental health care system and what
He's been
happened
deter-
to it over
right.
the years.
He's been determined not to be competent to stand trial. He's not guilty by reason of insanity. And they're having a hearing to determine whether he will be confined for life to the state mental institution.
I don't think that should be a whatever. If you kill somebody because of you're crazy, I think that makes you a danger to others just outright. Because once
That's
you
why
kill
you
one,
put them in the state mental institution for the remainder of their lives.
right, but I feel like that's not really that's an easy decision. Like, boom, mental institution for you.
Yeah.
Where's the
Yeah.
where's
But you have
the
to have-
debate?
Where's the debate? Okay, yeah, I don't know.
You have to have a hearing to know that everyone who
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but if they've already declared him mentally incompetent to stand trial, they've already decided he actually did the thing.
If they
There's no
decide
argument
not
that
to
he did
lock
the
him
thing.
up forever, they'll turn him loose.
Each one of those is a separate question, so it ends up
Yeah.
its own set.
I would prefer
It's for bookkeeping.
that the finding was guilty but insane, and some states have that.
Yeah.
Far.
So anyway, as I said, the sky is falling. We must run and
Yeah,
tell
so
the king.
SpaceX's Starlink satellite's falling. Tell us about it.
So anyhow, I put this in here because I'm proud of what SpaceX did.
Except for the part
or-
where they fucked it up.
No, they didn't fuck it up.
Okay, then tell me. Now I'm curious. 'Cause
Okay.
what I read, it sounded like a massive fuck up.
No. Starlink satellites are put up in little herds.
Yeah.
48, 49, whatever the hell it is. They are originally put into a low orbit so that any that don't respond when they're commanded to go to their real orbit are in a low orbit and will fall out soon, so as not to create a
Okay.
hazard in
Space junk,
space. It's
yeah.
a great idea. So what happened to these was they got put up in their low orbit, and then there was a minor geomagnetic storm. But the storm heaved the atmosphere, right? When the energy is deposited in the upper atmosphere, it warms and it expands. And then the satellites have to go through this higher density than they're expecting. So anyway, it looks like 40 of the 49 are going to fall out, won't make it. So, but way to go.
Yeah. Whoever
that
works
was
at
good
SpaceX that
thinking.
thought up that.
Yeah, that was good thinking. So,
Sounds good then. No, I thought it sounded like they put it up not paying attention to the fact that there was a storm coming or whatever, and then they were all getting knocked back down because whatever.
yeah, no,
Your
my
boss
first,
is a scumbag. Do some corporate intrigue to get rid of him.
my first response when I first
That's
saw
why they
it
invented
was,
cryptocurrency.
That's not crimes.
is they cannot be in an orbit so low that geomagnetic storms
Yeah.
cause them to fall out
That'd be
of
a
the sky.
catastrophic
This
fuck up.
cannot
That'd be
be
dumb.
true.
Yeah.
So I was pleased when I read the article and found out, no, it's not true. They're in a much higher orbit, well above where the atmosphere ever goes for any reasonable solar storm. And they're put in that low orbit intentionally so that the ones that
Yep.
don't wake up
No,
fall out.
that is stunningly
Yeah,
bright.
no, that is
Yeah.
smart. I appreciate
I
that.
did not
Now,
expect aerospace
these
companies to be
satellites are
that forward
wildly
thinking.
contaminating the sky.
That was my next
Right. There
question.
are-
Does painting them black help?
A little,
Okay.
yeah, no, astronomers are furious.
Yes, I saw the
Right.
picture.
Well, I can remember,
Now, is that same cluster, or is that just what it looks like now?
there are hundreds
Yeah.
of these things. So they're contaminating every photograph,
Okay, that was my.
right? No, I remember how annoying it was. I was trying to get a good image of the Orion Nebula.
Mhm.
And so I spent several nights under just superb seeing conditions, right? Taking collections of photographs, right, which would then be processed into a single beautiful photograph. The Russians had Rorsats up, which moved in little groups of three. I think it was Russians. It could have been us. Doesn't matter. They moved in groups of three. And the first two nights, my pictures had little tracks of three satellites stumbling across my field of view. And I'm sitting there going, the Orion Nebula is not that big. What the hell are you doing in my photograph? But now, with the number of Starlink satellites that are up there, It's driving astronomers wild.
Yeah. No, the picture I saw was quite bad.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if that was the group of them going over, or...
That was the group.
Okay.
They gradually spread out as they go to their stations.
And I mean, still bad.
Well, it means that there are bands of the sky where you cannot take a good photograph.
That's lame.
I can write code to take lines out and so forth. It can be worked. The astronomer's a deal. But still.
God, that's annoying as shit.
Yeah.
That would piss me off. Okay, so tell me about Trump annoys National Archivists.
So, yeah, there's been a lot of debate about what could happen with all the stuff he...
All the things that he took from...
took from the White
White
House,
House
took to
brought
Mar-a-Lago,
Tore up.
all of the documents.
Tore up and then turned into the National Archivists. Like, they must have been sitting there like, you motherfucker.
Well, and part of me's annoyed because since the 90s, like, baby hacker kids have been able to just scan scraps of paper and have a computer.
Reassemble them.
When
And we're talking about stuff that had been shredded.
Yeah.
Can be put back together.
That's why you need a crosscut shredder. We should get a...
We have a crosscut
I
shredder.
know. Yeah, I'm saying we should get a sponsorship with one.
So anyway, the National Archives just got tired and asked DOJ to go investigate. So DOJ has now started their investigation, and we'll see where it goes. One of the disturbing things is that it is possible that some of what was removed improperly from the White House and stored at Mar-a-Lago was classified and was not stored properly.
I will point out, we just went meth crazy with the classified hammer in 2000 forward.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So, and
Yeah.
we were talking about this before the show, the internet, and I said my only real question on this is, show me the list of everyone else who has similar strikes against them from the National Records kids.
Yeah.
And if this is a common thing, then everyone shut up. And if this isn't a common thing, then somebody do something. God damn it.
Yes. Well,
All right, so
I think it's unlikely DOJ will do anything. I don't think you have to look any further than what's his tail.
Or the history of the Department of Justice.
Yeah.
all right, let's talk about BoomerRex's About Damn Time.
Oh yeah. So
Give me the good news, sir.
I've actually got two pieces of good news. So a Capitol rioter had been offered a plea deal, and had sworn to what he had done at the Capitol and so forth. This is part of working up to his plea deal and so forth. And he was basically saying that he was allowed into the Capitol and so forth and so on. And anyway, they've uncovered some more data, and they're going to go back, and they're not going to let him have that deal. So
Good.
So this is a guy who was supposedly let in. It's a post-victory picture after ramming through the Capitol through to the Capitol building, or his cell phone recordings from January the 6th. Did they invite us in? Fuck no, they didn't. This is our house. We don't need permission.
What
What
did we talk about? About not recording or writing down your crimes?
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
they weren't. They were nitwit storming of the Bastille, only not the best. Like, did we already do the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing?
No, that's
No,
coming
we
up.
didn't.
No.
That's
up.
why I had to ask.
Yeah. So anyway,
Remember,
also,
one of them thought they were taking the White House.
also in the About Damn
true.
Time, if you'll remember, last night we talked about the silly ass little county clerk or whatever she is who had broken the security on the voting machines and done quite a few things that could easily be felonies. And they had a search warrant, and they came up for her Apple, and they came up, and when they executed the search warrant, she got all screechy and kicky and so forth. But they executed the search warrant. I presume they found and took her Apple, whatever it was, where she had made a recording after the judge had explicitly said there would be no recording. So she's now charged with resisting and attacking police.
Good. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
fucker.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's move on to dumbass of the day
yeah.
×2.
Right.
Fed court. You're not allowed to record Fed court.
Yeah. Whatever.
Hey, and the judge told you not to. That's good enough.
Yeah, that's enough. I'm sorry, we've got contempt of court right there. So anyway, it was a good day for dumbasses.
Apparently.
And we have a bumper crop. So an Ohio mayor just stunned his audience into silence by saying that ice fishing shouldn't be allowed because fishermen would set up ice shanties to keep warm, and then sex workers would set up shop inside those ice shanties.
What? Where was this happening?
Well, where was he? I don't care. Ohio or someplace. Ohio. And this is a mayor, right? Anyway, so stunned silence, right? And then people laugh at him and so forth. If you open this up to ice fishing, while on the surface sounds good, but then what happens next year? Someone come back and say, I want an ice shanty. And, if you allow them to fish from ice shanties, then, that leads to another problem, which is prostitution. Now, you got the police chief and the police department. Guy's out of his fucking mind.
I've never in my life heard of prostitutes in an ice shanty. That does not sound like a good place to fuck.
Well, you can understand the desire to be warm, right? Anyway, there's a decades-old urban legend that occasionally makes the round on the idiot talk shows about prostitutes plying their trade in ice shanties along Miles Black Lake in Minnesota, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if it happened once. Here, the guys who got the day off.
And if anything, like, that's like guys being like, hey, I got a little ice shanty. You're kind of chilly, and that,
Well, I expect the girls
like,
had to walk out there knowing what they were getting into, but I could believe.
Does that make them frost blizzards?
Oh my God. No, but I could see some smart guy saying, all the guys out here on the ice fishing, right? They told their wives they were going ice fishing. Now, if I set up an ice shanty over here, and I could make some money, and they could have a good time, and their wives would be none the wiser. I could see that happen.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. I bet you more money it's that he's done it before and brought a girl out to one of those and was like, oh, wow, other people are going to do it too.
I can.
Well, and idiots on the internet saw Jack Reacher and Taken and saw the bit where there's prostitutes at European construction sites.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
invented, and yeah.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Plus, I'm sure somebody has a fishing story about getting a wristy on the lake.
Of course.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I've heard a couple. Yeah. So, and then go, why a wristy?
I just realized what
11?
a dreadful mistake I made in choosing my fishing partner.
Yeah. It's not happening here, bro.
Boy, I'm dumb.
Well, this isn't going to be like that. I don't know how our fish is going to go, but not that way.
Right.
So now there's this whole section of my life I could go back and rewrite. Anyhow. No, and the next thing is literally the single dumbest thing I've ever heard a human being say.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a challenge, the internet.
Seriously.
Apparently it is.
That's not a challenge, Miss Green.
Yeah. So anyway, Representative Thomas Massey, who has both undergraduate and postgraduate degrees from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Hey, MIT, you have something to answer for here. This is ridiculous.
Oh.
The fact that you let this clown graduate should embarrass you.
And
So
make
anyway, he
HR
comes
question the
out
value of MIT degrees.
And he says, over 70% of Americans who died with COVID died on Medicare. And some people want Medicare for all. And you sit there and go, this is one of the most common logical fallacies that people commit, which is, just for the love of fucking God.
That's true. Maybe that's it. Part of my thing is, it's hard for me to believe that this is a genuine mistake. Right? I'm so used to it being just rhetorical bullshit.
Well, on his part, it might be rhetorical bullshit, right? And He's just betting on the fact that his audience is too stupid to realize
Right,
the
that I'm
confusing
always worried.
correlation with
Grifty is the other
causation.
thing, but no, because there's a number of fairly smart kids who have gone down one path or another of
Yeah.
the bullshit. Because I don't know, they studied it too hard and got something
Yeah.
creased.
Anyway, so of course, right, because it attacked older Americans more
Yeah.
strongly, and many of them have Medicare. Hey,
Over
dipshit,
75 or
Representative
whatever.
Thomas Massey, Republican, Kentucky.
Well, that's right, I forgot. Elected shithead. So yeah, it's probably
You're a
rhetorical.
moron,
Or you play one on TV, and you should
and
stop.
play one well.
Loads of bad things were within. Oh my god, we had crazies in the Capitol. They could have burned it down.
Absolutely. And so that's what I had for dumbasses du jour.
Oh,
And then
but
this afternoon-
I have a risen today because this could not be ignored. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out on an interview on one of those right-wing stupid whatevers, and she was all, well, Nancy Pelosi has
The Gazpacho police.
Gazpacho, and you know what she meant to say was Gestapo,
One assumes.
and
I just
nobody
love it.
really understands because gazpacho, for those of you who don't know, is actually a Spanish vegetable cold soup.
You're right. Yeah, that's served cold.
Like
And,
Vichy swap for
It's
tomatoes.
it's like, yeah, except it's made of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and
Cold soup, wonderful, wonderful summer dish.
fucking don't use a word if you don't know what it fucking means.
Besides, right,
Oh
you figure the soup Nazi, right, is a constituent of AOC, not Nancy Pelosi.
That.
I had to do that.
Yeah, it's as much as you're gonna get. I'm not a fan of Seinfeld.
So, well, I'm not either. but,
Yeah,
I mean, you do have this thing about a soup Nazi.
I don't. I
So
can pretend some of the
she's-
cultural icons. I just can't see them.
She's apparently got some serious soup issues here, so I don't know, give her hell. Go to our BoomerRex, so it's at BRexTonight Twitter page, and I posted a wonderful meme there, and I tagged Marjorie Taylor Greene. So please give that a lot
I
of
love it.
attention if you
Yeah.
possibly can, because that shit's funny.
Yeah. I noticed that somebody came back with the obvious red dwarf.
Oh yeah, no,
So-
that was good.
And
No,
if you don't know why somebody would reference Red Dwarf, you need to go binge watch Red Dwarf.
It is good.
So-
Until
It
they
is
get
good.
money. Like
but
Yeah.
they
early season's way better.
So that was on our Facebook page. So be sure to follow
Yep.
us on Facebook.
And give us money.
Which is BoomerRex Tonight. We have BoomerRex Tonight and then BoomerRex Tonight, no spaces. So those are both us, in case you're curious. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, just she makes it so easy.
I know.
She's not even fucking trying, and it is just so hysterical.
No, and I'd be vaguely interested to see what was the news cycle the day before she went on this show, right? Was she doing the lightning rod thing?
Trump and possibly not securing classified information that he stole from the White House and
So
took
yeah,
to
she
Mar-a-Lago.
might well be doing the lightning rod thing.
Yeah. So anyway, we shall see.
All right, so tell me about early humans in France.
So this is kind
and
of cool.
Francais.
A child's tooth unearthed from a French cave gives us evidence that modern humans were in that region 10,000 years before we thought they had
Fuck
been.
me.
So we thought they had arrived about 45,000 years ago, and this one dates right back to 54,000 years ago. So that's 10,000 more years. More than that, this tooth was deposited in layers of material with Neanderthal artifacts both above and below. So it's clear that modern humans, Homo sapiens, inhabited Europe simultaneously with the Neanderthals.
You know,
And so, our appearance in Europe did not
That's-
immediately murder all the Neanderthals.
well, no, at least half of them had a value, and
So anyway, it's just great. I love it.
yeah.
10,000 years earlier. God, people just want to travel. I mean,
Yes.
that's the whole thing. Put the backpack on and start hiking.
People don't like being told what to do that much.
That's right. So you figure maybe this was a family had an argument with the neighbors. They said, fuck you, and wandered off.
Yeah.
So,
Or, right, their tribe got whatever 100 people across, and they split up.
it did cross my mind that you had the Neanderthal layer, and they moved in, they ate the Neanderthals. And then you had the Homo sapien layer, and then the Neanderthals moved in and ate the Homo sapiens and moved back in. So, anyway.
No, I think that was way more one-sided. I think Homo sapiens took Neanderthals.
Maybe.
Like, I basically think if you look like we
I know
do,
you
it means
didn't
your
wrestle with
ancestors
one.
banged farm animals.
So,
And not like human-shaped farm animals.
all right. So now we'll go on to our Omicron update. So, guys, we're dropping mask mandates too early. So the short answer is, wear your goddamn mask, protect yourself, and then just let Darwin handle the idiots. So, it's only about 60% as effective as it is if both folks are wearing masks. But wear your masks, social distance, and to hell with the rest of them.
Yep.
And I've got good climate updates. Well, one good one.
What you got?
The jet tokamak near Oxford set a new world's record
Oh, yeah.
for the amount of sustained energy production from fusion.
Nice. I thought I saw that.
We're still forever from using it
We
as a
should
power
put some
source.
fucking money into it.
Yeah, we're putting some money in. The point is that they're laying the groundwork. Oh my God, how many years ago? Yeah, 60 years ago. I was told by a researcher at Los Alamos that he could prove that tokamaks would not work. That the instabilities in the tokamak were such that you could prove mathematically that they were not the answer. But anyway.
Fair.
We're getting closer. Maybe we've learned to resolve those instabilities.
All right.
How
So
about we
we
take
got
the subsidies we give oil companies and give that money to the fusion
Absolutely.
kids?
fair.
All of them.
Yeah.
Tell me about climate weirding. We got an update there too, or
Well, that was half of it. The other one is, this one's annoying. So, turns out that if you go through and look at the major companies that have promised to be carbon neutral by so-and-so and carbon free by so-and-so, it's all greenwashing. It's not all greenwashing. Some of them are legitimately trying. But several of the major global corporations are just using false or misleading data.
yeah, that's
They're not net
they're
zero.
known
They're not
for.
going to be net zero anytime soon.
No.
So anyway, they analyzed the climate pledges of 25 of the world's largest companies.
Ooh, excellent. I'm sure this is a good story with good endings.
Oh yeah.
Everything got better forever.
Uh-huh. I'm sure.
Anyway, so
How many?
a lot of them are running around 40% of what they claimed, right? So we'll take Google in specific. Google's claim is it's carbon neutral since 2007 and carbon free by 2030.
Google is carbon
The
neutral.
reality
Funny.
is despite Google showing leadership in some aspects of climate action, this carbon neutral achievement actually excludes more than half of the tech giants' emissions in 2020. Their emissions have increased over the past 3 years.
Of course they have.
And the carbon neutrality claim is largely derived through offset credits, and the scope of carbon-free target is unclear. So anyway, Google's just lying.
Of course they are.
So, and there were several others that were just like that.
I
Apple
believe
was one of the
all
better
of them are
ones.
like that.
And who is the big shipping company? Anyway, one of the big ocean shipping companies actually had real data and was actually really trying.
Oh,
So-
well, good
There's
job.
a few tricks you can do with ocean going. The big kites show some interesting things.
Yep. Well, you can use sustainable fuels, and you can.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's going to, like all things, be a collection of places where we found a 30% efficiency bump here, and do that and look for the next one.
Yep.
Right, like
Absolutely.
the panels on the backs of Mack trucks.
Yep. Those are a big damn deal.
That was my point.
So those and the giant hood above the.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll make those shits free.
Yeah.
Or, right, lower your insurance, or I don't care.
Yeah, the problem is about a third of our freight is moved by contract haulers. And so there's no incentive for the company that's giving them that trailer
Yeah.
to put it on the back, right? So you typically see those on the back of fleet systems
Yeah.
where there is an incentive. But anyway, at least 60% of them are doing it.
Hell yeah.
And they have the anti-drag skirts.
Yep. Again,
Yeah.
but each one of those is some 10 or 20% increase to efficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a number so big, you look at it and go, are you kidding?
Goddamn absolutely, yeah.
Sure.
Well, the thing that got us started with the whole talking about doing, right, do one room is solar.
Yeah.
If nothing else, then you've got right, we suggest a big room, right, the kitchen, because that's your fridge or stuff. But anything that reduces it is worth it. Like, I used to get paid shit working at that pawn shop with a bookstore wrapped around it.
Yeah.
But it also zeroed out my entertainment budget completely.
Yeah.
So,
That's an advantage.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've got for today. What have you
It's going to
got?
be small bits and pieces.
Yeah, no, today we're talking tax rates again.
All right.
Yay, the 1950s. So what was the 50s like?
Uh,
Did it smell different? Do you remember when they got color?
I remember when we got TV.
Yeah.
I was 12.
Fuck, you're old.
My
You're
parents
okay.
had resisted. All our neighbors had TV. We didn't. My parents had successfully resisted. And so we moved to Albuquerque. And I was kind of free to walk around and do things and so forth. So there's a little strip mall not too far from the apartment we lived in. You've seen that apartment.
Yeah.
Anyway, up on Eubank.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a little strip mall not far from there that had a radio TV repair shop. And I was interested in radio and TV, so I went in and I struck up a conversation with the guy, and he was showing me all the insides of television sets and pointing out, the dangerous parts, the second anode on the picture tube and so on, which is 20,000 volts. And, yeah. Anyway, and showing me how to fix a TV.
oh, neat.
And so he had a mirror in front of the TV, and he would go through and make sure, first of all, that it hadn't been just mistuned, right? Because there are lots of little adjustments on the back that people tend to dick with. And so you do the best you can there. And then he would point out what he was seeing, right? And, thick black bands that run across the picture and so forth. Okay, well, that means that part of your power supply has failed, and you're on the reverse stroke of the 60 hertz, you're getting leakage, which is, swamping your signal and so forth. And then he would test the tube, right? And, show me how to test the tube in a tube checker, right? And anyway, so I went there several days in a row. And then he said, well, you've got a TV, right? And I said, no, we don't. My parents don't want one.
Right.
So he offered to sell this ancient black and white television with a rounded wooden case, right? I mean, we're talking probably early 50s. Anyway, for $10.
Good. I don't feel bad. That wasn't the TV that was there.
No, that got thrown away probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
Having been, anyway, black and white. Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, a fun TV, heavy as hell. God damn, that thing was heavy. For $10.
All right.
So I dragged my father down to the store, and at $10, he can't say no. And that's how we got our first television set, complete with the rabbit ears were free.
Aw.
And they would sit on top, and you'd wiggle the rabbit ears to get a great signal.
Yeah. No, I
Anyway.
remember we had one of those.
Yeah.
1950. What?
No, that was 63. Maybe 62.
Yeah, no. All right, so let's talk about tax.
For $91.
What?
That's what your dad paid for a TV.
Oh, okay.
All right. The excess profits tax of 1950.
Okay.
The corporate tax rate, it increased top corporate tax rates from 45 to 47%. Excess profits tax created temporary excise profits tax of 30 to 30-53.
No idea.
The Revenue Act of 1950, individual income tax, eliminated portion of the individual income tax rate reductions from 1945 and the 1948 acts. Corporate tax eliminated 53% corporate tax rate bubble and increased the top corporate tax rate from 38 to 45%. In the Revenue Act of 1951 did individual income tax, temporarily increased individual income tax rates through 1953. Corporate tax temporarily increased corporate tax rates 5 percentage points.
All right. So
Through-
this is a period when we're still investing in America,
When the
right?
Cold War's colding up.
The Cold War is
I
coming
guess
up. We're
cooling down.
building, I don't know when the B-52 first appeared, but we're building B-47s and B-36s and
Yeah.
Mark 6 weapons and so forth. But we're building roads and streets
Yeah,
and bridges.
rebuilding
And,
Europe.
yeah. So, right, there was this was a period when America was very healthy.
Yeah, well, and all of the boys had come home, which means...
Yep, they
They're
needed
used-
jobs.
Well, and
and-
they're used to the idea of a team, and there's only so much I'm gonna let you do to the guys on my team, fucker.
Yep.
And just knowing that, yeah, if you screw with your team long enough, they're eventually gonna screw with you back in ways you can't predict.
And one of the sad parts of that was that black soldiers and white soldiers went home to different neighborhoods.
Oh, fuck yes.
Right. So those friendships were broken.
That was
'Cause I can
absolutely
remember-
necessary for what we were about to do.
No, but I remember my father and his friends being
Yes?
furious at the fact that black soldiers were having a hard time using their GI Bill. And I know of at least one black soldier they helped by writing their congressman and saying, "What is this shit? He earned it. This is what he gets."
The power
And,
congressmen can swing when they're doing your work. That's
So anyway, but it was one,
yeah.
right? It was.
Well, no, exactly, and
Yeah.
fuck.
But again, was America great for everybody? Yeah, probably. All boats rise on the
Yeah.
tide, right?
But
Were black folks still largely excluded from the best of the jobs? And
there
so
was
forth?
white people
Yeah.
punching holes in black people's boats on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, no. Was America perfect in any way? No. But America
But
was
you can look at the
growing,
taxes
and it
and
was
tell.
yeah.
All right, let's get
Yep.
through this and then we'll continue.
Yeah, okay.
Somewhat further into the 50s.
Corporate tax rate, temporarily increased corporate tax rate 5 percentage points through March 31st, 1954.
Okay.
Excise taxes, temporarily increased excise taxes on alcohol, tobacco, gasoline, and autos also through March 31st, 1954. The Excise Tax Reduction Act of 1954. Excise tax increases, temporarily extended 1951 excise tax increases through March 31st of 1955. Excise tax rates reduced, excise tax rates on telephones, admissions, jewelry, etc. Internal Revenue Code of 1954. Corporate tax rates temporarily extended 5 percentage point increase in corporate tax rates through March 31st, 1955. Depreciation deductions increased depreciation deductions by providing additional depreciation schedules. Dividend tax credit created a 4% dividend tax credit for individuals. So, do we want to quickly go through like 1951 tax rate through like 1959 tax rate? So just do that one and then the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just do
probably.
51
Or just
and
the end.
59.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's
And they call it a tax code because it's not laws, because if you don't pay taxes, you're not breaking other laws, according to every militia muffin top and sovereign citizen douche canoe.
Okay. So 1951, single tax brackets. $0 is 20.4%. $2,000 is 22.4%. And then we skip to $16,000 is 51%. And then $100,000 is 89%. And
right.
$200,000 is 91%. So $200,000 and up, 91% tax rate. And that's single tax brackets. So that is if you are filing singly. All right. So then you wanted 1959. Okay. So the 1959 single tax bracket, at $0, it was 20%. At $2,000, it's 22%. Skip to $16,000 at 50%. $100,000 at 89%. And then $200,000 plus is still 91%. All right. Do we want to move on to the 60?
Hold on a sec. I got some more. First off, so in 1951, median income was $3,700 a year, working out to about $39,000 or $40,000 in today monies.
Okay.
Wow.
So you were going to say something?
I was going to say let's save the 60s, because the 50s. Again, we were talking about what was going on, right? What were we doing with the money?
Mm-hmm.
And so Eisenhower signed the Interstate Act in 1956.
Yep.
Right. So that's the kind of thing we're doing. Do you know why we built the interstates?
To move armies across the continent.
To move the military. Do you know what set the height of the bridges on the interstates?
I mean, yes, but
What?
no, tell us. Sorry, I'm supposed to be a good joke.
It was the transporter for the Atlas missile.
Yeah,
So
I knew it.
Well,
Was
and
one of-
didn't they require that for every so many miles there needed to be a mile of straight highway so that they could land
could
planes
land
there if
aircraft
they
there.
needed to?
yeah.
I'd also like to point out that no, wait, hold on.
I always find the Atlas missiles interesting because we're talking about a missile. I think I told you I dented the Mercury capsule at the National
Yes,
Space
you did.
Museum. Okay.
Because you're a terrible person.
Well, I had been told that you could dent it with your fingernail, and I tried, and the answer is yeah, you could.
Yeah,
Those
they're
are
going to be
brave-ass
sending
little
you a
monkeys.
fucking
It wasn't
bill.
a real
You
one.
should not have
It
admitted
wasn't
this.
a real Mercury capsule. It was one of the prototypes. But anyway,
All stories told by on this podcast
our
are
lies.
Yeah,
Make believe.
Yeah.
are works
Anyway.
of fiction, and any barren stuff edit is completely accidental.
So, the Atlas missiles were made of the same stern stuff, literally.
Yeah.
And so they had to be shipped from their factory to their silo pressurized.
Well, yeah, that's why liquid based is a fucking bad idea.
Well, and
Yeah.
you're right. The 60s were another big, lots of stuff going on.
So in the
with that.
50s, we added $10,000 to the median income.
You know?
So I just find that interesting.
Well, that's like 25%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, this is a big deal. Right.
This is
So
what
we
was all
were
coming
investing
online
in the
and coming
country,
along.
we were investing in the people.
Yep.
You had companies like AT&T that were redesigning their equipment
Yep.
so that instead of lasting for 15 years, it would last for 100 years.
Yeah.
There are AT&T mechanical switches that are still in operation.
Yeah. No, this
We
is
don't
the-
know how long the last generation of mechanical switches will last because nobody's ever worn them out.
This is the period when we got almost all of the like basic manufacturing stuff sorted out, right? We can now make nylons and rubbers and plastics.
Yep. And cars.
Yep.
Lots and lots and lots of cars.
Wow,
and
we had
tanks
lots of
and-
practice. Yeah.
Yeah. We were building brand new airplanes that could do things nobody had ever done before.
Is this when Ford is being weird?
What?
When is Ford being weird? I guess through all of this.
Ford, like the car company?
Yeah. The guy who had secret police who went around to view his workers' weddings and had company towns and...
I think that was way before this.
Okay, this was
Yeah.
why I'm asking. I wasn't sure when I was supposed to bring
and-
that up. I think I got the Pullman thing.
Yeah. Part of what Ford was doing.
Watch this.
No, there was a big transition from the agricultural workforce to the factory workforce. And part of what Ford was doing was trying to ease that transition.
Yeah, that's obviously not going to be the part I want to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
You want to know what the rake ahead is?
I like it.
Please explain to me in what way a wedding can be too Polish. Written by the Interior Secret Police of Ford about an employee wedding.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck them. But I get we had the yokel problem or whatever, but... Or maybe Ford was just a classist piece of shit and we should all be glad he's dead.
Yeah.
It's not Pullman. We should go dig him up because he was very scared of that. He built a special box to make sure that pores couldn't do stuff to his body. So
We should go pee.
that sounds like a challenge, the internet.
Dig a hole, pound up.
Yeah, Pullman shouldn't have
Pipe,
challenged
then-
the internet.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I think you should stay at home and listen to us.
Yeah.
Send money.
Right.
Send lawyers guns and money.
Yeah, we need all of those things.
Anyhow. No,
and
I
knives.
think it's...
I like knives. Send knives. Knives are pretty.
But a herd of stuff was going right.
Yes.
Right? I suspect, if you look, and we can do it, but I suspect that much of what we consider national park infrastructure was built around that time.
That was like the 30s with the CCC.
They built a lot, but there was lots more going on.
I think they built the part you can bill for. This is why we shouldn't have stolen the goose.
Yeah.
Our goose is so lonely. He's standing at the glass door looking in and yelling at us for attention.
And tapping on the door.
He wants lovin's.
Oh. So you'll have to put up with a goose. I'm sorry. The hell with you. So you're not going to let him in.
No, he's going to go out and pet him.
Oh,
So
okay.
turn off the light and then go out and pet him.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he's new. There were once 3 geese. They were all brothers.
They were called the Cerberus, the 3-headed Cerberus, because
Yes.
they guarded the
They
ranch.
guarded everything. You drive over to the ranch in the morning and they'd come down and they'd give you a whole briefing on what happened the night before. All 3 of them talking at the same time. It's
Yeah, they'd let you
ridiculous.
know. They'd let you know.
Anyway, so one of them got run over by a hay truck.
Yeah, that
And
was
one
bad.
of them
threw himself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
he
that's true.
legitimately
He-
threw himself under that.
Run over implies the hay truck had any kind of boat in it.
Yeah, no. The hay truck was moving and he threw himself under it trying to stop it because he was the big goose.
Even I
also
would give the
bitey.
geese a wide berth. They were insane.
Yeah. Well, one of them was, and the other 2 were easily led.
The other one got taken by a wild or feral dog or whatever.
Yeah.
A couple of them were coming through and just murdering all of our.
So here is
Foul.
1/3 of a Cerberus who was very lonely.
Yep. So he was just in a cage to keep him safe, of course.
He was in
but-
a dog run. He
Yeah,
had
he-
plenty of room.
Yeah,
but-
no,
Yeah.
but to keep him safe,
didn't seem
it was
interesting.
a smaller,
Yeah.
it was a smaller space than he was used to, though. So we brought him over here because we
He
have
had
a big,
chickens, but he didn't seem to think
Yeah.
they were his friends.
we have a big yard, and he likes attention, and we wander through the yard quite frequently, so
And
he
pet him.
gets pets every time. But yeah, we just brought him over here today, so he's adjusting. So you'll have to
Yeah.
give him a few nights to figure it out.
Yep. But he knows where his food is. He knows where his water is. He'll be fine. Unless he
Alrighty.
continues to make noises like that, in which case he'll get eaten by a coyote.
Maybe. All
Good luck,
right,
buddy.
so we will see you back here tomorrow night on BoomerX Tonight. Do not forget to share with your friends, your family, or whatever's. Go to our Patreon. The only way to get to our Patreon currently is via our Facebook page. So go to BoomerX Tonight, and every night I put a link to our pregame show. So if you click on that, it'll take you to our Patreon, and you can join, and then you'll be able to see all the fun pregame stuff.
Smart cookies. You can figure it out.
So if you join the Path of
Comment.
Barnabas, you get the once a week fun stuff. So don't forget to comment, follow, heart, do all the things.
Share, rate, review.
I'd prefer it if you went to our BoomerRexTonight no spaces Facebook, because that's our business Facebook, and I'm trying to get people to switch over, but we'll figure it out eventually.
Yep.
All right, so we love you all, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night on BoomerRexTonight.
Gazpacho police.
All right.